Alright guys, so I'm just going to be showing my commute to work. Yeah, I know the gas light's on. Work commute is only 12 miles there, and on the way back is where my E85 fill station is. So I'm going to be filling up on E85. I've been letting the car sit and warm up, so we're at just about fully warm, as you guys can see over here. We're at 160 degrees. Normally I let it get up to about 180 before I start getting on it. All right, so I got all my stuff. Let's go. And I'm just going to be going slow through the neighborhood, and then once I get out and get to the highway portion is where things will pick up. And again, whatever registers on here is going to be +7, so it'll be 7 psi higher than what's showing on the peak. Pretty close to fully warm, 175. So we're getting close to where we'll give it the beans. I'll show you guys some different angles late other days. I just figured this one would probably be the best one, so you can kind of see the car's power once we get near the highway. We're getting pretty close. Now pulling out of my neighborhood. Alrighty, and for anybody who's not been watching the channel or isn't subscribed, the car is a 2022 Subaru WRX, and it is currently tuned. It's got a JB4 tuner running +7 over the stock boost. So roughly, depends on the day, but it'll be anywhere between 19 to 21 pounds of boost. And we've got some more things coming in the near future. Right now in the mail, we've got a ETS intake. It's not actually in the mail yet. We're still waiting for them to ship it. But we've got an ETS intake. That should get some cool turbo noise, maybe a little bit better intake air temperatures. But we will see. The intake air temperatures really aren't that bad for the stock box. I think mostly we're just going to get sound, which would be nice because it's the car is a little bit quiet stock. And then in the near future, we'll be adding a turbo back exhaust. So I'm just hopping onto the highway portion. This is where I'll do a little pull. I normally slow down towards the end and do a little second or third gear pull. That's my Waze in the background. Alright, so we're going here. Alright, and we are fully onto the highway and up to speed. The highways here are pretty slow. They're really only about 70 miles an hour, 65 give or take. So it kind of depends on the day, and the highways just really aren't super fast here. I'm in the South Carolina, so we're not not anywhere like Texas or anything where you have higher highway speeds. Our speed limit here is about 60 to 65 depending on the highway. So it really just kind of depends on which one we're at, and of course I'm not trying to speed too much. This thing wants me to hop off the highway because I think there's a traffic jam up ahead. Use Waze when I'm heading to work, just to make sure that I'm not getting stuck in a bunch of traffic. Really, there's no rush. I normally leave the house at 7:30, and I don't have to be at work till 8:30. And where I'm at, there's traffic, but it's not like big city traffic. To give you an idea, it's my work, I've got another 9 miles to go, and it says it's going to take me 20 minutes to get there. So nothing too crazy. We had moved here, my wife and I had moved here from Virginia, and in Virginia we had way more traffic than we have now. So this is nothing too crazy. And then where it's taking me is going to be kind of through the city. So the speed limit will be roughly 45. So, as some of you guys can see from my channel, I'm new to the WRX and all-wheel drive scene, not new to the car scene. I've had tons of different cars that were, considered sports cars, I guess. Starting out, I had a 3000 GT. Unfortunately, I don't really have any videos from that because when I had it, technology wasn't where it is now. And then after that, I had a Mazda RX-8 for a little while. I also had a Genesis Coupe, the 3.8, and then one of probably my most favorite vehicles that I owned would be the I had a Gen 2 Mazda Speed 3 that was, you know, fully bolted to turbo back exhaust, top mount intercooler, high pressure fuel pump, all the motor mounts and everything, and then a Turbo Smart 50/50 blow off valve. That thing was a blast. Probably, like I said, hands down one of my favorite cars that I ever owned. And I didn't actually intend on getting a WRX. I know it sounds weird. I was buying another car, so I had a kind of gotten out of the car scene, and I had a Nissan Altima for about 2.5 years, and then I sold that back to Nissan just because it was a lease, and you know, because the car market kind of went all crazy, I decided I wanted to sell it, and we went down to one car for a little while we were trying to figure out what cars we wanted. So I sold that, and I was looking at just getting another, you know, daily driver, something practical. So we drove a couple things and really liked the Hyundai Tucson. I know it sounds weird going from a Hyundai Tucson to a WRX. Well, we had you know, worked with my buddy at the Hyundai dealership, one of my good friends I've known for a little while, but they didn't have a limited, and that's really what, you know, my wife and I wanted. So we ended up driving about an hour and a half from here to Hilton Head, and the guy at that Hyundai dealership was just being a jerk over the phone. So my wife, you know, was like, I don't really want to give him any business, you know, even if it's, you know, just us, you know, going to pick up a check and, you know, he's like, I just don't want to deal with him. So on that same strip was Subaru, and she said, do you want to stop by Subaru and just check, see if they have anything? So really what we did is, because I knew she liked the Forester, so we were going to stop and see if they had a Forester Wilderness available that she could drive and check out. And they did have one, but it wasn't for sale. But on the pad was a solar orange WRX. And now, mind you, I haven't driven stick in years, a few years, and which is, you know, it's like riding a bicycle, you don't forget. But I also didn't know if I wanted to go down that path again, because I have a little bit of a modding obsession. You know, it's just too much fun to not experience with new exhaust and things like that. And I obviously don't have that problem when you buy an economy car. I don't have that same issue. But so I thought about it, and then I was like, well, you know, maybe I'll give it a test drive. So I test drove it, and I didn't even, the funny thing is I didn't actually, get a little pole in here. The funny thing is, I didn't even, it's only 45 here, so I gotta slow down. The funny thing is, I didn't even go into boost when I was driving the car. I really kind of just, you know, slowly went through the gears, you know, shifting at like 3,000 RPM, and just kind of getting a feel for the clutch. And then when we got back, I just told the guy, you know, hey, if you can take the dock fee off, we'll run to the bank and bring you a check, just clean it up. And he went and talked to his manager. They went and took the little dock fee off, and then I ran up to Navy Fed and went and got the check, and then brought them the check. And I came back, everything was detailed, you know, sat and talked to the sales guy for like an hour waiting on finance, and then of course told them I didn't want any of the warranty stuff. and then went ahead and, you know, drove home, and still didn't really even go to boost, kind of just took it easy. And honestly, it's I know there's been a couple people to ask me, you know, why I didn't get a Elantra N, or why I didn't get X car or this car. There's always a faster car, but it's really what you enjoy. For me, you know, I said the Mazda Speed, when I had it, that car was like the love of my life. I enjoyed driving it so much, and it didn't matter that there was faster cars, you know, because there's always, like, you can drive a Hellcat and there's always gonna be something that's faster than you. It's not even about being the fastest, it's really just enjoying your cruise to work, enjoying your ride quality. So I don't, this you know, I'm 30, and you know, like I said, I haven't had a sporty car since my early 20s, and this car made me feel, yeah, it kind of, like I said, it made me feel like a kid again. You know, I put a smile on my face when I finally laid into the throttle, and I just, you know, it was a car where, you know, I look back every time, you know, when I go to park it, and I have such a good time driving. It's really bumpy over here. I have such a good time driving it that it didn't really matter how fast it was, because I had thought about, you know, if I were to get a sporty car, you know, maybe I'll get a Sonata N, and of course I sat in one, and I can't fit. You know, if you guys don't know, I'm 6'4", almost 6'5", that's without shoes on, of course, and you know what, that, you know, that plus being a heftier guy, it limits the types of cars that I can fit in. I can't fit in the Elantra, and I can't fit in the Sonata. The Sonata, the older model from the year before, I think it was a 2021, before they slanted the roof, I could fit in that one just fine. But once they slanted the roof, my head's on the roof. So, you know, that I can't fit in Wranglers. So there's a lot of vehicles that you kind of got eliminated from that, but I never actually anticipated to even get the WRX, which is, I said, kind of funny. So we got the WRX. I know I'm all over the place. I've got that's just who I am. So we got the WRX, and then I started looking, because my wife at the time, we had a Nissan Leaf SV Plus, and we liked the car, didn't love the car. So the reason we didn't love it is, you know, 250-mile range was good, but whenever it gets hot or cold, you lose range, and that paired with, you know, higher electricity bills, and you know, it really was, we took it on one trip, it was a bad experience. So again, the market was high, so we went ahead and sold my wife's Leaf, and then once we sold the Leaf, we started looking for that Forester Wilderness. Like I said, she had sat in one but had not driven one. So we went ahead and started looking. We finally found one, again, for MSRP, which is hard to do in the market. Just it's a hotter, I think the Forester is actually a hotter car than the WRX, as in like sales wise. So, and she only wanted a Geyser blue one. So we found one in North Carolina, and then talked to them, you know, got them to take off all the baloney fees that they were going to add, and then you know, same thing, we just went through our bank. And for anybody wondering, if you're not if you haven't financed a bunch of cars, so dealerships, when you finance through them, have the ability to add bank fees. So essentially it's them getting paid a portion of the interest if you finance through them. So let's say you're with a credit union and they go through that same credit union, but they go through the credit union through the dealership rather than you going directly to the credit union. So you could be approved for a 3% and they give you a 4%, and they keep that 1% interest. And now they can't do that as like 10%. There's limits on these things. It's generally anywhere between 1 to 1.5%. And now, while that doesn't sound like a lot when you're talking about a $35,000 or $40,000 car over the course of a loan, we're talking about $800 to $1,600 that you're essentially losing over the course of the loan that you wouldn't lose if you went directly to the bank. My wife was in the car industry for years prior to her current career, and so again, we got them to agree to let us use our own financing, and we ended up going through Navy Federal again. They've got the best interest rates for us, just because I'm a veteran. Thankfully we're able to use them. Very thankful for that. And got the Forester she wanted, and then everybody's happy. And I had originally told her I wouldn't mod the WRX, and that was in fact a lie. I didn't know I was telling. I really just, I know I don't want to go low again. That's my last car. I'm not sure if you look at some of the videos. I had HKS Hypermax coilovers. I won't go low again because I don't want to deal with scraping, and I actually kind of like the ride height of this car. It's I think it's 5.4 inches of ground clearance, which is actually about half an inch higher than the Nissan Altima I was driving, and many inches higher than the Mazda Speed. So I won't go low again, but I'm definitely planning on a turbo back in the near future. As for blow-off valves, I don't know if I will go down that road. As much as I'd love the sound, it's not. I don't know how safe it would be to go with the blow-off valve. So I think we're gonna stay away from that. And just because, of course, the blow-off valve is nothing but a noisemaker. So I think we're gonna stay away from that. We'll do the intake. I'm gonna eventually do the turbo back. I believe both those things. The intake, of course, is gonna happen within the next couple weeks. I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail. I'm going on a work trip pretty soon, and then when I get back towards the end of September, then I'm going to purchase either the full turbo back or just a downpipe for now. I think the full turbo back's like $2,700. So as much as I want to purchase that, I don't know if I can spend quite that much money towards the end of the year, right before the holidays. But I know I can spend at least the downpipe money. So I'll get that, and then we'll kind of go from there. The downpipe's really where the power is going to be. The catback's all just sound. You maybe make 5 or 10 more wheel horsepower, but the majority of it all is going to be at the downpipe. Now, what I'm hoping to do is I really want to make the same power Prime Motoring made. Like I said, with the turbo back exhaust, and they had their tune perfectly dialed in. They made 340, 380. That's really good power. Like I said, for an all-wheel drive car, that's really good power. And of course, I don't know what kind of things you might break at that power limit. Of course, I'm gonna add a pitch stop, and we're gonna add rear diff inserts and things of that nature soon as well, supporting mods. But I'm hopeful that at that power level it will be safe for a long time. And then we're not going, for anybody wondering, I'm not I'm not gonna mess with an access port until the warranty is up. Because right now the car's got 2,500 miles on it. You know, it's got 5-year 60,000 on the engine. I could blow up right now, essentially, or have a major, you know, some type of catastrophic failure, and revert it back to stock very, very, very quickly, and tow it back to the dealership and get everything fixed under warranty, no issues. And that's pretty much how I want the car to be. Is I want the car to be where if something major happens, I don't have to essentially fix it, pay for it, you know, pay, you know, $5,000 or $6,000 for a new block. Now with the access port, as we all know, once you install it, the ECU has changed. Of course, the cool thing about it is the boost would show properly on the dash how much you're actually running, but I don't really care about that. And even if I know that the access port would make more power. The reason the access port would make more power is it has the ability to change more things than the JB4 does. You have the ability to change, you know, fueling, timing, and things of that nature, and you would make more power with a Pro Tune. I don't believe you probably wouldn't make any more power with the off-the-shelf tune from Cobb. Those are normally really generic and crummy compared to the Pro Tunes. But you know, making an extra, you know, from 340 to 380, if I could make, you know, 350 and 400 with a Pro Tune, you know, that extra, you know, 10 or 15 wheel horsepower is not worth me losing the warranty. So for me, I'm just gonna leave that part as it is, and you know, let other people enjoy the Cobb portion of it. And you know, because they've got launch control and things like that, which are pretty cool. Like I said, I had an access port in my last car, and I was Pro Tuned. But other than that, I'm just that'll pretty much be it. I'm gonna, you know, I've got the JB4. I'm gonna get the pitch stop. I'm gonna get the turbo back and the intake, and then I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably gonna call it a day. Maybe eventually a top mount. And then I'm probably just gonna call it a day for mods on this car. At least that's what I say. Yeah, I think that's at least what I think when at this moment in time. But again, opinions can always change. If you guys have any ideas for the channel or anything you want me to make a video on, I'm happy to do it. I don't really, you know, I'm happy to do polls in first, second, third, fourth, you know, etc. I don't really want to do 0 to 60 runs. I know a couple people have asked for that. The whole reasoning being is I don't really want to put the stress on the drivetrain. You know, you've got to get a good 0 to 60, you've got to launch, and you know, I'm really not, I really just don't want to, unless I'm at the track. It's not really something I'd want to do. You know, I plan on keeping this car for a long time, so kind of want to take the best care of it I can. But let's see. And then find a parking. But I am at work, and I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for today. If you like the content, you know, go ahead and put a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of it. Yeah, I know I'm one of the first few to start modding their WRX, the new ones at least, and hopefully you guys want to see more of that content. If you're not already, also go to Reddit and go to the 22 WRX forum. There's a bunch of us on there that, you know, some people have done more than others. Lots of different exhaust comparisons and a bunch of different info that you can see about the WRX and other people's experiences, if they've had any problems or things of that nature. But I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Hope everybody has a great day, and if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. I'm happy to answer anyone.